Sup, Internet? It's me, Yazuko here. So I wanted to put together this new series called Weekly Manga Drops. Been thinking about it for a while. I mean, all this time I've always been reading manga a lot more than watching anime in the first place, so why not start sharing what I know about manga with you guys? Makes sense, right? Anyways, so first off, in this series, what I want to talk about is that we want to talk about the series called R.E. Monster. The series that started off as a light novel, first off, and well, actually, it started off as a web novel, and then eventually got picked up by a developer, and then turned into a light novel, which then got turned into a manga finally. The web novel is a really good read, although it's very segmented and very gamer lingo. Gamer lingo? Is that even the word? Man. Anyways, it's heavy on people that don't play video games, especially the ones that don't play RPGs, more specifically. So people who play RPGs or JRPGs will be the ones that will enjoy this story the most. So, first off, in R.E. Monster, how it starts off is the main character... Well, let me get this out of the way first off. This is a reincarnation story. I know there's been a lot of reincarnation stories popping up left and right these days, but especially with the popularization of light novels being turned into animes and mangas and such. But this one's real different from your original, oh, I died getting hit by a truck or something, and now I've been reincarnated inside a alternate world, and I have this power that's kind of like a cheat compared to everybody else here. And I also have all my memories from my past life. Oh. Anyways, the main character in this story it's a reincarnation story, he still gets killed, right? Though he does get killed by somebody who's rather close to him, although that's basically the last time we hear about her so far as I know, anyways. And he gets reincarnated into one of the weakest races of get this, monsters. Now, this is actually fairly unique in that sense, although I can already name another manga that's kind of similar in that sense. But he gets reincarnated as a goblin. You know how goblins are, they're always small, green, about the size of a second grader or so. Usually fairly deadly. They're not exactly smart, but they can be fairly cunning. So what starts off the story is that there's not much detail given about the world he came from before, except for the fact that everybody, well, no, not everybody. He described it himself as saying that there were espers in that world, but they were pretty much a minority itself. He himself had the power of absorption back in that world, where he could absorb powers from, well, eating things. It also meant he could eat just about anything as well. He could even eat like very toxic poisons and all that, and still get out, well, relatively fine. In that world, he also became like what was called a boosted man. Yeah, that name threw me for a loop. I was looking at that name and I'm like, what the heck is a boosted man? Why would anybody create such a thing? It's basically like, kind of like this may sound a little old, but have you guys ever heard of the series called what's it called again? The Bionic Man there? Or is it the $1 Million Man? I think it's the $1 Million Man. There we go. Basically, it's this guy that's just been modified by experiences where he's much stronger than the average person and much more durable and all that nonsense. So anyways, getting back to the story. He wakes up after being killed as a baby goblin. The thing is about baby goblins is they grow really fast. You're already about adult size within 3 days or so. And that already is pretty damn fast. Then again, humans can take their time nurturing their children because we kind of don't have any predators. I mean, we're pretty much the predators. But anyways, the manga itself is very, as I said before, it's actually very text heavy. So if you're not used to reading a lot of text or understanding things about RPGs and most JRPGs mostly, this story may go a little over your head, or you may struggle to understand certain things and all that. Anyways, so got a little sidetracked there. Anyways, in this world, as he's reincarnated as a goblin, he also realized that after a bit of experimentation, he kept his power of absorption. By consuming creatures or certain objects, he's able to gain certain abilities and the like. Like, there was this one time where he ate the scales of a triple horned unicorn or something, and he was able to formulate scale skin on his entire body and such. Though it does bring certain, shall we say, difficulties with certain things, and sometimes it's actually kind of funny when you see what happens to him. Anyways, alright, so here we go, further down the rabbit hole we go. So the series itself is actually fairly interesting. The goblins evolve from being a goblin to hobgoblin, and then from goblin to another form. I won't spoil more than that, but there are multiple forms that a goblin can end up as, and even some of them that are outright rare, and you need to meet certain conditions to meet that. But it's not only the evolutions that make the series entertaining and interesting. It's the struggle to meet that the quota, the struggle to survive, the struggle to get food. Because as soon as the goblin reaches the tender age of like 3 days old, they basically have to start hunting for their food themselves. Wait, is it 4 days? I think it's 4 days. Man, I'm already fucking up. Anyways, so you get to watch his adventures while he remembers everything he has to do to get strong. Well, it's not so much he remembers them. It's just that because of his job back in the other world, he had to be adaptable. So him being able to handle just about any situation is shown through this as well. So it makes for an interesting dynamic between him and the other goblins that are, well, fairly stupid when you think about it. Regardless, so that's about all I can say about the manga so far. What I wanted to say is afterwards is there's actually a game coming out for it as well, for this series. It's just a mobile game, but it's currently being worked on. I think it was actually announced like a few days back. I think it said February 16th, 2017. Wow, that's really not long ago. Anyways, I'm gonna thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Comment, like, subscribe, you know, all that good jazz. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.